Oh my gosh.
That's really good.
Y'all, this is a winner. Alright y'all, we are gonna throw together meatloaf for dinner tonight. I think we're gonna do meatloaf and like a cauliflower mash. I did not get anything out for the cauliflower mash yet, but I think I have everything out for the meatloaf. So let's start putting the meatloaf together. The cauliflower mash comes together really, really quickly, y'all. So we are going to make a meatloaf. I like to use meatloaf mix. A meatloaf mix, most stores carry it. It's a combination of, golly, I cannot speak, of beef, pork, and veal. If you want to just do straight beef or straight pork for a meatloaf, you totally could. I just like the texture and the flavor of how it comes out like this. So we're going to do a 2-pound meatloaf today, and we're going to go Greek style with it. I've never made a Greek style meatloaf, but it sounds good. So we have some egg and some keto crumbs. For meatloaf, I always use my keto crumb in place of breadcrumbs. So my keto crumbs is a mixture of pork rinds, nutritional yeast, and Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna use that. And then usually in a meatloaf, I use tomato sauce, but I don't want to put tomato sauce in this one, I don't think. I don't know, do you think it would be good with tomato sauce? I'm trying to think what we're gonna use for the moisture.
I mean, the Greeks use tomatoes.
Yeah,
There are tomatoes in
use
Greece.
tomato. You're right.
Actually, tomatoes are a staple in Mediterranean food.
Okay, so a little bit of tomato sauce. I already have that open, so that'll work. All right, I'm gonna cut up half of an onion, and then I've got 4 whole cloves of garlic in here, y'all. We are going to roast this garlic. I wish I already had it roasted for today's dinner, but I don't. We're gonna use some of it in the meatloaf, and then the rest of it, we're gonna roast in the oven, since the oven's gonna be on anyways, and we'll have roasted garlic to go in things for the next few weeks, and I'm super excited about that. I'll show you how to do that. It's super easy. I never stop and show y'all how I cut an onion, so I take half the onion and I leave this little piece on the back. It holds it together, okay? So you're gonna slice through this way for a fine dice about 3 times or 4 times. And then you're going to go down the middle. See how there's these lines on the onion? You can use those as guides if you want. Put it straight down. Then you're gonna go on top and go straight down. See how that gives you perfect tiny little dice onion? Super, super easy. And then you can flip it over and get the last little bit like this. Perfect diced onion every time. Remember that onions have quite a bit of carbs, y'all, so I did go ahead and cut up the whole onion, but I'm only gonna use half of it in the meatloaf, and then I used my little bench scraper, my favorite little tool, y'all, to scrape it all up. I'm gonna put it in a glass Pyrex, and you can either put it the top on and put it in the freezer like this for later, or you can put it in the refrigerator for another meal. Now we are going to get some of our garlic chopped up. I think we like a lot of garlic, so I'm gonna do probably, oh my gosh, y'all, those are humongous cloves. My favorite way to do garlic is just with take your big, what is
knife.
This? It's a knife, but.
Chef's knife?
Chef knife. Take your big chef knife, and you're just gonna set it on it, use your fist, and hit. Okay, so after you've mashed it, see how it just peels super, super easily? I'm just gonna go ahead and cook up the onions and the garlic real quick. So this is just in some olive oil. We're just gonna get them softened. Now I'm gonna add my garlic. It's a lot of garlic. Is there ever too much garlic? What do you think, Jack?
No.
Okay, so my cauliflower, that's not cauliflower, Erica. My onions and garlic are nice and done. I'm gonna take about 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I'm gonna cook it down just a little bit. It'll cook in the meatloaf too, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let this kind of cook out a little bit. When you're using straight tomato paste, it tastes better if you just kind of let it cook out just for a couple minutes. So I'm just adding about 1.5 ounces of water to this. We're kind of just making a plain tomato sauce basically to give our meatloaf some moisture. Okay, so for roasted garlic, what I do is take the whole clove and I take my knife and I just go right down the top of the middle so it just kind of opens it up like this. We're gonna do that with all of them. Right down the middle. Then you're gonna take just some aluminum foil. We're gonna put our garlic right in the middle of that. Put our garlic right in the middle of it. I'm just drizzling it with some olive oil, a good amount. And then we're just gonna wrap these up. Just like that. We're just gonna put them on the side of the same sheet pan in the oven with the meatloaf, y'all. Okay, we're gonna just start adding, we're gonna add 1 egg. There we go. Greek seasoning. This is Fresh Jack's Greek seasoning. If you don't have Greek seasoning, you could do like onion powder. Let's see, here's what's in it. Sea salt, onion, cracked black pepper, organic garlic, organic parsley, basil. They're all organic. I'm gonna stop saying organic. Basil, thyme, rosemary, oregano, lemon zest, marjoram, and spearmint. This Greek seasoning smells phenomenal. So good. So we're gonna add in a good amount of that, and we're not gonna use that. Okay, we're gonna add in a good amount of that, and then we are going to add in some of our keto crumbs. I probably used about a tablespoon of seasoning, y'all, and I am gonna go in with 1/3 of a cup of keto crumbs to start, and a little bit of salt and pepper. There is salt and pepper in the Greek seasoning, so you know, do with it what you will. Now I'm gonna come back here and get our tomato sauce that we made with the garlic and the onion. Probably should have let that tomato stuff cool a little bit more, but it'll be all right. I'm just gonna start mixing it up with this spoon here, but I'm gonna end up having to use my hands, y'all, to get in there. Okay, there we go. So another 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs. I feel like it's a little too moist. When we're making meatloaf, we want to get everything incorporated, but don't overwork it, because you can get like a tough consistency if you overwork it. I highly suggest taking your rings off before you do this. My rings are a disaster now, y'all. Oops. Line a baking sheet with foil. You could do parchment paper if you want, and you're going to spread this meatloaf out into a rectangle. Just try and make it about as even as you can. Okay, I'm gonna take spinach. This is just some frozen spinach. Actually, let's do the cheese first. We're gonna use frozen spinach in a second here. So I'm gonna take goat cheese. If you have feta cheese and not goat cheese, you could do feta with this too. That would be really, really good, but goat cheese is what we have. So I'm gonna take my goat cheese and I'm going to sprinkle it, spread it out all over. Goat cheese is a mess. This is 10 ounces of goat cheese. So you spread your goat cheese around in the middle. You don't want to go all the way to the edges. And then you're going to do the same thing with the spinach. This is just some frozen spinach. I wrung it out in a tea towel to get all of the moisture out, y'all. So now we're just spreading the spinach around the inside here. So I'm just taking the zest of a lemon. You don't have to do this, but with lemon goes really well with Greek. So we're just zesting a whole lemon. And then I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle that over the top of this. All right, now we are going to roll this baby up jelly roll style. You can use your foil to help you. I decided to take this Greek seasoning, y'all, and just sprinkle it over the top of the spinach and goat cheese. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that there. Now, you're gonna roll this up jelly roll style. I think it's easier to do it towards you. So you just roll it over, roll it over, roll it over, right? Then we're gonna use this same pan. So we're gonna roll back this way. And then I flip it. It's pretty, oh dear. Thought it was gonna be easier to flip sideways than it is. We could have just done a different piece of paper here. It's all right, it'll mash back together. Here we go. So I just go ahead and elongate it a little bit more. Tuck those ends, tuck those corners in, and if you see any cheese peeking out, try and cover it So this is about a pound and almost a pound, a little more than a pound and a half. I reserved some of it for my son to do hamburger style because he never will eat my meatloaf, even though it's gonna be delicious. Okay, we're gonna paint the top of this with some mustard. Just some regular Dijon mustard would be perfect. I happen to have this Trader Joe's aioli garlic mustard sauce, which sounds perfect. So I'm just gonna put a couple of plops, on there, and then I'm just gonna take, I just lost some of it there. I'm gonna take a paintbrush, or whatever this is called.
Sauce brush.
Sauce brush. And I'm just gonna paint this all over. Just like this. And it's just gonna give it a really nice exterior. Typically with meatloaf, I paint with like a ketchup type thing, or sometimes with my meatloaves, I wrap them in bacon, but I decided this one we would try with a Dijon. I have never made this meatloaf before, so we will taste it for y'all a little later and let you know what we think, because I have never ever made this particular meatloaf. Thought we'd play in the kitchen some today. All right, so now we're going to put this in the oven, 375 degrees, and then I've got to put my garlic. I wrapped it up somewhere. There we go. Your little package of garlic, and he's all wrapped up, so you can put him anywhere. And this meatloaf usually takes about 45 minutes, so I will let you know. All right, y'all, for our cauli mash, what I do is I just take rice cauliflower that has been steamed, just according to the directions, whatever it says. If I can find the open. Just according to the directions, whatever it says, and then I plop it right into my blender. Completely cooked, okay? Now, a lot of times I do 2 packages of rice cauliflower, and I'm just doing 1 today. So I'm gonna take a little bit of cream cheese that I had left over. I think this is probably about 3 ounces of cream cheese. I'm gonna take a couple of tablespoons of butter right in there. This is room temperature butter. Heavy cream, about 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. And then I'm gonna add some Parmesan cheese. You don't have to add the Parmesan cheese, up to you. I think it's tasty. So probably about 1/2 a cup of that. Y'all, I am making a mess over here. This is why you wear an apron, y'all. So we're going in with our salt, a little bit of salt. We're gonna go in with some garlic powder. Ooh, that was a lot. Oh well. And some Greek seasoning, just because it's going with our Greek meatloaf. You're just gonna put your top on. So after you get it all buzzed up, just use a spatula and go down and push the sides down, and then just hit it one more time, and then it'll be a nice smooth cauli mash for you. I took the cauli mash and put it right into this Pyrex so that I can bake it or put it in the microwave. This tastes so phenomenal, y'all. Like, I wish I had doubled this. I could eat all of this by myself. It's so smooth and creamy this way. All right, I have a little trick, y'all, for cleaning the blender. I go ahead and fill the dirty blender with some soapy water, some soapy hot water preferably. Then I just put it right back on, put the top on, and blend away, and that hot soapy water will clean your blender for you. It's such a great, fast, time-saving trick. All right, y'all, this cooked for 40 minutes, then I put it up to broil, and I only left it under the broiler for about 2 minutes. I'm gonna take this out. We had a little bit of a mess up in that it broke open, but I'm also going to take this cauliflower. I'm gonna take this garlic out, and I'm just gonna open it. It's already nice and soft in here. I'm gonna put this back in at 375 and just let it keep roasting until it gets some brown color on it, and then this will be ready. So you can see this guy really split open. I think I made it a little too long. I thought I had more coverage than I did, but it's still gonna taste really good. It's just not as pretty of a presentation as I would like. So we're gonna let this cool for about 10 minutes and then we're gonna cut into it, y'all. So it's been about 10 minutes, so it's completely cooled. I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside. Look at all that yummy goat cheese and spinach. All right, let's plate it up and let everybody taste. This is what the garlic looks like when it's finished, y'all. See how it gets like this nice caramely color? You could let it go a little bit longer if you wanted it even more roasted flavor. But when it starts getting this dark color and popping up out on its own, you know that it's ready to make a roasted garlic paste out of. All right, so roasted garlic, while it's still warm, but not so hot that it's gonna burn your fingers, flip it upside down and just squeeze. You see all that garlic just coming out? Just keep squeezing it out. I'm gonna do that for all of it, and then we'll have some olive oil roasted garlic to add to recipes. Greek style meatloaf with spinach and goat cheese, and it's on a bed of my cauli rice.
Looks
I
delicious.
used some of the roasted garlic in the cauli rice.
Yeah, the house smells like roasted garlic.
Yeah, it does.
If you roast garlic, I don't think I got any cheese in that bite.
Oh my gosh.
That's really good.
Y'all, this is a winner. That is so good.
Winner, winner, meatloaf dinner.
The
You know what
lemon-
would make it better though?
What?
Banana pepper.
I know. The banana peppers missed getting in. You want to taste it with the banana pepper? The banana
No,
peppers.
but those would be, it is excellent. Those would really, like, if you had half, even if you just did like half of it
Yeah.
in it, if people
The
didn't like
banana
it,
peppers were good
Really
in it,
good.
and the lemon really stands out. The
Ooh.
lemon is really good.
olives, you'd add olives to it too though.
I don't like olives.
Oh, man.
It would be good with
Little
olives
side-
if you like olives.
Side of olives or something, like a little,
Mm,
that'd be good. This is good stuff.
really good. Y'all make this.